Welcome everybody to the Critics Corner. I'm Andrew Branca with the Waxahachie Sun. I'm here with my friend and colleague, Mr. David Dunn with Southlake Style Magazine, and today we have got a very, very exciting review for all you Marvel fans here. It's the return of one of the favorite characters in the Marvel universe here, Venom. So we're talking about the new film Venom, Let There Be Carnage. So before we get into the review today, we're gonna show this trailer from Venom, Let There Be Carnage. So check it out.
I say either, you say either, I say neither, and I say neither, neither. Let's call the whole thing off. Ta-da! Catch up.
Excuse me?
Yummy.
Good evening, Eddie.
Hey, Mrs. Chen.
Good evening, Venom.
Function hall, Mrs. Chen.
He says hi.
One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do.
I've been thinking about you, Eddie.
Two can be as bad as one. It's the loneliest number.
Because you and I are the same. Every decision we ever make. Who do we leave behind? And how do we leave them? Waiting in the darkness for the rescuer who never comes. Welcome back, Eddie Brock. It's been a long time. Miss you so much. Soon come chaos. Chaos soon come.
One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do.
The chocolate delivery hasn't arrived yet.
No!
We had a deal.
What's gonna happen? You gonna stop protecting me?
I am happy to eat, Mrs. Chen.
No, you cannot eat, Mrs. Chen.
What?
Nothing?
Well, welcome to the program, David. How are you doing today?
I am doing all right, Andy. Me and Venom are looking forward to talking about this movie. I'm a little bit of a big fan of the character, in case you can't tell so obviously. But yes, so as you have said, Andy, Venom: Let There Be Carnage is a sequel to the 2018 anti-hero movie Venom. Basically picking up where that one left off. Eddie Brock is trying to reignite his journalism career. Venom is still trying to eat people's brains. And intermixed in the whole thing is a serial killer named Cletus Cassidy, who is on death row for a series of murders he committed way back in the day. Long story short, he ends up coming into contact with his own symbiote in this movie and becomes the menacing supervillain known as Carnage. Therefore we have our movie. Okay, so positives first, Andy. Positives first. Tom Hardy is amazing in this movie, as both Eddie Brock and as Venom. Which doesn't surprise me too much. He was the best part of the first movie, and he's also the best part of the movie here. And I do think it's kind of funny. Tom Hardy does play. He not only does he play Eddie Brock, he also voices Venom. So whenever you hear these humorous segments where Venom and Eddie are just kind of having like this odd couple arguments going on. It's essentially Tom Hardy having an argument with himself, pretty much. And I don't know, that just seems all the more funny to me. But yeah, when it's just Eddie and Venom, the movie's amazing. They have really great banter. They have Tom Hardy has really great chemistry with himself, I guess is a good way to say it. And
that's a good way to put it there.
Yeah, pretty much. And whatever other faults the movie does or does not have, Tom Hardy is at least really good at shining, not just as the down as luck journalist Eddie Brock, but also as the brain-eating anti-hero, Venom. So Tom Hardy is excellent in the movie. He was great in the first one. He's great here. No surprise there.
Oh, no doubt. Just the spats that between Venom and Eddie Brock get into are legendary. I find it funny where they kind of have a breakup moment where Venom goes his own way and Tom Hardy goes Eddie Brock goes his own way and Venom goes his own way, and he's at a rave or something, and everybody thinks Venom is this really costumed up person. And I think a party goer approaches him and he says, "Man, is that costume from China?" It's like, "No, I made it myself."
Yeah. And actually, it's appropriate you bring that up, Andy, because whereas I start with, the thing I did like, we transition into the things I didn't like. That scene being top dollar. So, okay. Just to briefly go over this, Eddie Brock and Venom make most sense as a pair, right? They have really good chemistry with each other. They have a really good relationship with each other, a symbiotic relationship, hearty har. And it's mostly just Venom and Eddie learning to be comfortable in each other's bodies. I like that conflict. I think that is a good conflict. Why this movie decided to split them up for half the movie, I have no idea why. Venom does not really hold up that well by himself, and Eddie Brock especially does not hold up well by himself.
Oh, not at all. Yeah,
especially when at the beginning of the movie, one of the biggest revelations Eddie explores wasn't because of him, it was because Venom noticed it first. So I thought it was odd to split them up for more than half the movie. And speaking on the rave scene, I wanted to see Venom really unleashed in this movie, Andy. I know the first one had some bumps in the road, but at least was building up into the lethal protector known as Venom, which should lead into the next movie where he's lethally protecting. He is protecting the innocent. He's eating bad guys. He's, kind of cleaning the planet one criminal at a time. So that was what I was looking for in this movie. Instead, we get this dialogue where they're both arguing no, you cannot eat brains, even though I told you can eat brains of really bad people at the end of the last movie. So that doesn't make sense. And then leading into the rave, the rave, Andy. So we've seen both movies. What are symbiotes' weaknesses?
Light and sound.
Yeah. Well, fire and sound, but yeah, you're right. So
fire and sound.
Fire and sound. What is at rave parties, Andy?
Pyrotechnics and sound.
Sound. How is Venom in the middle of this rave party getting all these glow sticks on him? The speakers are blaring all around him, and he's not a pile of goo.
I don't know.
That was very, very sloppy directing.
Well, pyrotechnics as well, because they're fire.
A little bit, yeah, but still, looking at I'm looking more at the sound.
The sound aspect, yeah, I got you.
That's at any rave party, regardless. But when you have Venom in the middle of this party, you establish several times that sound is his weakness. He's in the middle of this party where speakers are blaring, and he is not reacting to it. How do you think we're going to take the threat of it seriously? You don't. The movie is so selective with the information it gives you and when to apply it. Very, very frustrating.
Yeah. Yep, definitely.
Yeah, so the rave scene was all around just stupid. You could have cut it entirely from the movie, save 15 minutes, definitely have a better experience, although the movie's already very, very short. But whatever, that's just where they go. The other part of this equation with Venom Let There Be Carnage is obviously Carnage himself, which, excuse me, I don't know if you're as big a fan of the comics as I am, Andy. Carnage is one of my favorite Spider-Man and Venom villains ever. I never thought I'd get to see him on the big screen. I was so excited to see him on the big screen here. And finally had the chance to watch what a cinematic Carnage would look like. What was your opinion on Cletus Cassidy, Andy? What were your thoughts on him in the movie?
Cletus Cassidy or Carnage?
Both.
I thought they disposed of Carnage way too quickly. He was there for maybe 15 minutes of the entire movie at all screen time, and Cletus Cassidy, Woody Harrelson tried to be the more psychopathic version of Tallahassee from Zombieland. And it really, where Tallahassee he was a little nutty and a little bit funny, but kind of likable. He was trying to bank on that a little bit, and I don't know, it just didn't come off all that believable to me.
Yeah, so here's my thoughts on all that. So first of all, Carnage, out of the two, between Carnage and Cletus Cassidy, I definitely liked Carnage more in the movie. More specifically, I prefer the visual effects team work on Carnage more than I liked Woody Harrelson's performance as Cletus Cassidy, which is not a good thing, but we'll get into that. When Carnage is on screen, he is a vicious force to be reckoned with. He is tearing through prison gates. He's eating guards. He's saying really intimidating, kind of condescending, mocking, playful banter. The first scene where he breaks out and he gets out of jail and he's
eats the warden.
Yeah, that was amazing. Although there was a scene where he span really fast and basically became the Tasmanian devil, which that was weird, but whatever. There's plenty of weird things in this movie. But yeah, when Carnage is on screen, he completely commands every scene he's in, and I love him in this movie as well. Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy, I felt was very, very hit or miss. One of the things I really liked about Cletus Cassidy in the comics was he was this really creepy, murderous, violent serial killer. This is a dude that could kill a child because he thought it was funny. He's just a sadistic little twerp, and he really brought tension to every scene he was in. You're like, oh, this guy's a freaking madman. He needs to be stopped. Here, he's this whiny, bratty little, woe is me sort of story. He's like, oh, my daddy beat me when I was a kid. My mama and grandma didn't love me, and that's why I am the way I am. Shut up. Literally, the Hulk, Black Widow, and Shang-Chi have had equally traumatic childhoods as you have, and they don't feel the need to eat people. Shut up. So he's such a whiny, bratty character, and to top it all off, we get the big revelation at the end, Andy. What Cletus Cassidy was after all along in the movie, what was really driving him and motivating him. He wanted Eddie's friendship. Grow up. Oh my God, he's such a pathetic character. I'm just like, Riot wasn't good in the first movie. He basically was just a person for Eddie to fight. But Carlton Drake was at least a better fleshed out villain, and Riz Ahmed did whatever he could with it. Cletus Cassidy is just pathetic. He's just he's this a teenage heartthrob.
The other problem with this is, his whole love interest is Frances Barrison, played by Naomi Harrison. You could kind of have gotten rid of her from the movie. I mean,
She literally added nothing, and I don't.
She does. There was no really just outstanding performance from her that just made it just a necessary plot point. I mean, you could have just had Carnage versus Venom, which I think would have been a better, Venom going out, Carnage going out for revenge against Eddie Brock, and I think that would have made it maybe a little bit more sense.
They should have made the emotional crux be between Eddie and Cletus, not Eddie, Cletus, Anne Weying, Shriek, this detective. Like it is way too crammed with characters, and the movie has no idea what the plot is, who these characters are, who should be driving the story forward. They're just like, hey, these are fun comic book characters. Let's throw them in there and see how comic fans react to it. And that doesn't deliver the same thing. Naomi Harris, I think, is a really good actress. I really loved her in Skyfall. Recently revisited Moonlight. Loved her in there. So great actors, but they're just not written well, and you don't get good performances out of them because you don't buy the characters themselves.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, they had a lot of stuff going on, and they had a small window to really shoehorn everything. I mean, this ran for 137 minutes. I mean, that's pretty short for even just your standard type of action movie, which is normally 2 to 2.5 hours. I mean, Die Hard didn't get out in first gear within the first 30 minutes of the movie.
Literally the shortest Marvel movie that's been released in quite some time, and they waste it with a rave scene, really, really dumb animation sequences, and a forced love relationship between Cletus and Shriek, this person you do not care about, just like you don't care about every other supporting character in this movie, just like you don't care about every supporting character in the first movie. It's very frustrating. I don't know what you thought of the first movie, Andy. I thought the first movie was okay, but there were definitely some weaknesses that definitely needed to be resolved in the second one.
Yeah.
Not only did they not resolve those issues, not only did they not fix the weaknesses that they needed to in the second movie, they doubled down harder. This movie is actually worse than the first Venom is. How is that possible?
It's Hollywood. They screw stuff up continually. I mean, like you said, the first movie, it was okay. It wasn't like a Captain America or a first Iron Man type of movie, or even a Christian Bale Batman movie. That it wasn't really knock your socks off, but it was good. It was entertaining. It had some weak plot points to it. There are a couple characters you didn't really care about, but the humor in it really kind of carried it and made it go through to the end very well.
Yeah.
With this, I don't know. I mean, I don't see Venom Let There Be Carnage ever again. I'm good with that. But I'll be more than happy to crack open Iron Man 1 and watch that over and over again, because Tony Stark, Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., that was an awesome flick.
Literally the only thing I would rewatch from this movie is every scene that has Carnage in it and the post-credit scene. That's it. You can throw everything else in the bin. I don't care about it.
I would say if you want to get the gist of this film, watch the trailer.
Yeah, pretty much.
You'll save time, you'll save money, and you'll get the best high points out of the little over an hour and a half runtime that was that you would normally see at a theater.
You're like family, Eddie. You're like family to me. What do you think, Venom? Are you family to me?
Well, I think I know what your rating is going to be. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give this?
3. Very, very, very hard 3. Oh my god, like literally, and it's so frustrating because Venom and Carnage are literally among my favorite comic book characters and villains, and here it's just a throwaway, and it's so disappointing. Oh my god, yeah, I hated this movie.
I'd probably want to give it a 3. I'd probably give it a 5. You know, middle of the road. Take it or leave it, but you know, it's not as bad as the Nick Fury movie starring David Hasselhoff from 1998, or the Captain America movies made in the 70s and 90s. You know, it's not necessarily that bad, but it's not an Iron Man 1 at all. It's not mind-blowing. It's not, it'll not leave you talking about how awesome it was when you left the theater. So yeah, I feel good 5 out of 10 for this.
Well, you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel with that comparison there, Andy. Not even the DCEU movies are like David Hasselhoff, Nick Fury level.
That is, I mean, if you've never seen that movie, it is good to see it just one time for a laugh.
It's like The Room of superhero movies.
Yeah, it's like watching a train wreck. You just can't look away from it happening. You just have to watch it unfold.
Pretty much.
That's the only redeeming quality about David Hasselhoff as Nick Fury. But that's for a whole nother time. So that's going to do it for today here at the Critics Corner. So if you have any thoughts, questions, or suggestions, give us a shout on Facebook in the comment sections below, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.